What's good, my family? It's your girl back with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. And today's video, as you can see by the title, is how I found out my son was autistic. So as we in the month of April, you know, this week Tuesday was the last day of autism awareness, and it is bittersweet. Like I said, we have these precious little angels out there, and they're just precious to me. So basically, let me just get right in this video and let's do it. So basically, in my previous video, I stated I have twin boys. They're 14 years old now, and during my pregnancy, I had a normal pregnancy. Went to work, went to my doctor's appointments. Everything was okay. So the day of my delivery, like I told you guys, when I found out I was pregnant, I went in and they did my cesarean, and that was that. Boom. So, but I do know that umbilical cord was wrapped around twin A neck, which that was, you know, my son, the one that was diagnosed with autism. So, and if you guys don't know what autism is, I'm going to definitely put and insert the definition. Everything will be in the description if you guys want to research, and everything will definitely be literally self-explanatory. So everything went okay. They was, you know, everything was normal. Like I said, I didn't breastfeed them because my breast was not, you know, producing enough milk. They was on infant milk. They was, you know, normal as possible. But I started to see something around, let me baby see, like 5 or 6 months. They did sit up, but they was like, okay, so basically what I was doing, because I was a first-time mother, I will research what a baby's supposed to be doing from 0 to 3 months and 3 to 6 months, and so on, so on. So they held their own bottles, they, you know, cooled, and they just did little different stuff that baby's supposed to do. But as far as him, his name is, you know, Amir, I saw that he was like a little bit more behind than his brother was. And he would look at me, he would give good eye contact, but like I said, I didn't even know what to be looking out for at the time. Like I said, he was still little months. So at 11 months old, right before they turned 1, I was at my grandmother's house, and I noticed I was in like her little walkway area, and I was like, Grandma, can you come here real quick? And I said, I noticed that his left leg was dragging just a little bit, and he was in his walker. And I immediately made an appointment to his primary care doctor, his pediatrician at the time. And I went, and she looked at him, she looked at both of them, and she told me, and gave me a prescription, faxed over to the EI services. And if you guys don't know what EI is, early intervention services for children that may have a delay, whether it's speech, whether it is ODD, whether it is physical, not walking, just a whole bunch of stuff. The EI really speech that really tackles. So I immediately called, and I began to receive services, I believe around when he was like 14, 15 months. And at the time, he was walking. No, he was not walking. And the special education teacher came, physical therapy, OT came, and speech therapist came, and that was it. So basically, as you know, people coming in and out of my grandmother's house, whatever, I'm like getting a little nervous. Like I said, I didn't think that he was autistic. I really didn't. So what I did notice, that every time he would watch a particular show on TV, at the time it was Dora, he would scream if he saw the map coming towards him. And I noticed that he would flap his hands a lot. I noticed that he would say a lot of jargon. When they're autistic, they say a lot of jargon, gotcha, some other words besides that, but that's what he was saying. And I just thought that he was trying to, you know, pronounce his word. But like I said, as a young mother, I was on it. Like I said, I already worked in the field, so I was already on it. I'm like, nah, let me make sure my son get the services that he requires. So as time went on, he started walking at 16 months. He was still receiving physical therapy. He was still receiving OT as well. And he was also receiving speech 3 times a week. So one day when he was 18 months, we had an evaluation for him, and you said to me, that he may be on a spectrum. And I was like, a spectrum of what? And it was like autism. Now, I heard about autism, like I said previously, because I worked in a day hab and most of my individuals was autism. And my mother, she, you know, worked at a school. She kept saying, I think he's autistic. I think he's autistic. And of course, as a mother, you never want to hear that your child is autistic. You never want to hear that your child have any type of disability, period. So, when he was 2, I went to another evaluation and through TheraCare, and they was able to diagnose him because, like I said, they have to wait until they're 2 years old to be able to properly diagnose your child with autism. So he was diagnosed. I got the report, and I remember getting the report. I was still living with my grandmother at the time. I remember getting the report, and I just felt so sick to my stomach. Not sick to my stomach like, oh my God, but sick to my stomach for my child. Because like I said, my thing was, oh my gosh, like what if something happened to me? Who's going to take care of him? Oh my gosh. Did I do something? What did I eat? Did I go to enough doctor's appointments? What did I work too much? Like I said, when I was pregnant with them, I made sure I was in my bag, working every single day, hustling. And I was like, oh my God, did I put too much strain on him? I was just so guilty. I felt guilty, not because he would, but I felt guilty. Like, oh my gosh, did I cause it to him? Or did I do anything to just, you know, can I have done anything to prevent this? So, long story short, like I said, I got the report. I felt so bad. I felt so sick. So after I got the report, he started to go to the CI school. And basically, it's a 2-hour school that he went to Monday through Friday, and with ABA, and he was able to get ABA in school. And also his therapist, Mildred Lavelle, shout out to her. I was trying to find her throughout the years just to say thank you so much, just to you know, pay homage to everything that she has done. So basically, she would come in for an hour, and he hated her. Literally, he would cry, but I didn't make it no better because I would be peeking, sneaking, and he would be crying for me. And at the time, his godfather, I was still working, his godfather would come and watch, you know, him and his brother when I was at work. And he'd be like, Monique, come on. Like, he would be just like, seriously. But I just wanted to see what she was doing. Just because I just like, oh, I know my baby want me, but it didn't do her no good, because when he would see me, he would just start screaming, crying. Because like I said, in ABA therapy, you have, it's like just you and that teacher. In his case, it was him and his therapist, and he had to sit down, and she had to teach him every single thing. So basically, he woke up to go to school between 6:30, between 6:30 7 o'clock, got on a bus, went to school for 2 hours, came home, and then she came at 4. So this is a lot for a 2-year-old, and this was a big adjustment for him and also for me too, because like I said, I'm like a hands-on type of parent. Like, I'm a helicopter is looking to see what's going on, but that didn't do him justice. And I also spoiled him so much because like I said, I felt so guilty. So anything that he did, if he, you know, hit me, or like I said, he at 2 years he would be aggressive. So if he just did anything like hit me, or I just like, oh no, Amir, don't do that, like, because I felt so guilty. I just felt so consumed with guilt. So he would have his through therapy. She would teach me all the stuff that she did with him to carry over for the days that, like Saturday and Sunday, that she wasn't there. And like I said, it really paid off. And mind you, when it was time to put him in CPSC school when he was 3, because like I said, early intervention is only for 2-year-old, and then they moved to the CPSC program when they 3 to 5. When I tell you, me and my grandmother, I was on it. I was actually moved out her house by now, and I was calling around for good schools. But his therapist, Mildred Lavelle, she said, no, what you're going to do, you're going to get him into a very good school, either Brookville or Hask. And I said, okay. She said they're on the borderline of Queens, Long Island. So Brookville was my first choice, but they didn't have no seats for him at the time. He needed a 6-to-1 program. And so I called Hask. I went out, me and my grandmother, I remember us taking along out of railroad train, oh my gosh. And we went, saw the school, toured the school, and I was like, oh wow. Saw the teachers, met the parents. I was like, I'm sold. And that is a very good school. And he would go every single day, and she would still come, and he did really good. And like I said, he's 14 now. Yes, there's been obstacles, and this is I could, let me just put this out there. Obstacles in the sense of not like day-to-day stuff that me personally, I had to let go and start letting him be more independent because he wasn't. I would do everything for him. When he finished the CPSC program, he went to kindergarten and he had a good year in kindergarten. First grade, he had a good year. Second grade, he did not have a good year. He did not like his teacher, and it was so crazy because his teacher, she was stern on him because she said, she would say to me, "Mommy, he could do more, but he's lazy. You need to stop doing most of the stuff for him." And like I said, as his mother, I'm like, how you gonna tell me how to? But she was right. You know, you want your children that's on a spectrum or has autism, you want them to be as independent as possible because like I said, God forbid, you know, anything should happen to me, my husband or their father or their godparents, whatever the case may be, or their grandparents, you know, you want your children, whoever would take care of them, to be able to, for them to be as independent as possible. So second grade, he was over it, but I liked her so much towards the end because when it comes to my kids, I just be putting up a fight, but she was literally right. She said, you know, you got to make sure he's independent as possible. So that's what I did. I started making sure he was potty trained. He was potty trained when he was 6 years old, fully off of Pampers. It took a while because, like I said, he would not use the bathroom, but he had a wonderful parent that helped me to carry over once again in the household. And I would ask questions. I would like, can you guys laminate stuff for me? Can you laminate his toothbrush? And I could be able to put the stuff, like I was on it because like I said, you know, I'm that type of person. I really wanted to be able to allow my child to succeed. Went to a couple of workshops to be able to do his behavior because like I said, he's on a spectrum, but he's not fully blown autistic, but he's on a spectrum. He has PDD, which I will put that in the link as well too. So sometimes he could get a little aggressive. I did have him on medication, but as of for the last 4 years, I actually took him off. First of all, the medication had super duper crazy side effects. Weight gain, increased appetite, increased thirst, and increased urination. Just a whole bunch of, you know, stuff that I saw, and I said, let me pull back and see if I could be able to deal with him hands on. And like I said, we have our good days, we have our bad days, and I do know when it comes to him, he's 14 now. He's at that stage where he's doing majority of the stuff for himself. Some stuff he still needs assistance with, but as far as bathing, as far as dressing, he does that himself. As far as making up his own bed, he does that himself. He could go in the kitchen cabinet, get himself a cup of milk. And he also has little chores around that house. Does he like to do them? No. Does he do them often? No, because me, I'm like, okay, let me just do it for him. But for the most part, he got most of the stuff packed down. And it's so crazy because during remote learning, all he kept saying was, I gotta go to school, my yellow bus, my yellow bus. Like I said, when your child is autistic, or they have a routine, so he knows he gets up in the morning, and he's a big advocate on time. I could be on the phone with somebody, he'd be like, did you go to work? He'll ask the person I'm on the phone with, did you go to work? Like he is a type of boy, a young man, I should say, that if you ain't doing nothing with your life, he go judge you. Like that's how his whole personality is. And you know, he's like, did you go to work? What time you wake up? It's like he's a stickler for time, and he's a stickler for people about their business. And it just amazes me to watch him, like I said, through the years, how he's so much progressed and continued to wow me as his mother. And I can remember a little cute little story in the beginning, from the ages from 6 to 10, I believe. I think it was, yeah, between the age 6 and 10, all he wanted was pizza. Oh my gosh. I used to when I used to take him off the bus, every single day, every other day, I would have either the Elio's pizza or Papa John's. And I remember his teacher said, you cannot do that. I understand that certain foods that he would not eat, but you gotta try. So I said, okay. So after 10 on to 14, child, that boy eats everything I cook. And that was like, oh, thank God. I don't have to be spending my money. I don't have to be doing this. And he he is such a bright light in my life. I love all my kids. Anybody that knows me, they are the life. But when it comes, oh my gosh, look. Child, let me not even do this on camera. But when it comes to him, child said I wasn't gonna do this. When it comes to him, it's like any parent that has a child with special needs, they know where I'm coming from. You just want the best for them. You don't want people to try to take advantage of them. You don't want people to try to harm them. And you know, with what's going on in the world now today, you know, if he's having a behavior, people just won't know, and they just look. And I can recall that through the years when I would be in church, if he was having a little behavior, they'd look at me, and I'm like, "What you looking at?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, he's so cute." I got that all the time. And you know, you can, you know, get into a lot of conflict defending your child, because that's the type of person I'm going to defend my child, whether, you know what I'm saying, that's just me. So but now he's 14. He's a young little man. He's doing amazing. He gets on with the remote learning. He knows all his teachers' names, and his job when he was in school, he was a calendar monitor where he could tell you all the days. And one thing about him, he is good in technology. He loves trains. He can tell you where to go from A to B to all the way to Z, X, Y, and Z. And the other day I was telling his godfather that I had a little problem with the little laptop. He put on something to speed up the communication and to watch little videos. And I said, come here and fix this. And he did. He's doing wonderful. Like I said, we still have a long road to go ahead, but he's communicating very well. He still gets speech, not OT anymore. He doesn't have a power anymore, but he's doing very, very good. So I encourage every mother out there, and his favorite thing to do is he loves his tablet, and his favorite movie, child, his favorite movie, he told his teacher last year was Baby Boy, but that's something he watched and he liked, whatever. But that's something that what he said last year, I just could not. I'm like, child. Anyway, he's doing so good with the remote learning. He's there on time. He's, you know, answering questions, of course, completing on his work. And you know, like I said, he still was asking questions as far as like, oh, when are we going back to school? And he's anxious to go back in the building. He'd be going back. If he do go back to school, he'll be going into high school. So, you know, he's optimistic. He's in a District 75 school, where it's predominantly, if your child is autistic, that's what they send you, is a District 75 school. So he's doing good. I am so pleased with everything. He talks, and that's something that the doctor, when I remember when we had, of course, follow-ups throughout the years, you know, the doctor was like, you know, there's a chance that he won't talk, and you know, there's a chance, you know, he won't do this, and a chance he won't do this. And one thing about God, I never, ever discounted what God can do. With doctors say, nah. God can say, oh, I'm gonna show this, I'm gonna do this. And through the years, I have no more guilt. I have no more, because I know that, you know, God is a God of miracles. He is just a whole, you know what I'm saying? So he makes no mistakes on what creations that he do. And I had to train myself throughout the years and say, no, he don't have a disability. Like, nah, he is special in his own way. And I want everybody to, you know, be encouraged. If you have a child that's on the spectrum, a grandchild, a cousin, a niece, whatever is in your family, try to get them services as soon as possible. Do not wait until they 3, 4, 5, 6 till they start talking. No, make sure if you see it, then you'll be able to say, nah, let me go and check my child. Normally the doctors can tell, but as a parent, as a mother, as a father, as whoever's guarding over these little angels, please do not wait to get the services. Because like I said, as you can see, I was interrupted by my daughter. But anyway, like I was saying, I encourage each and every one of you guys that's out there that have a child that's dealing with what I go through every single day. Sometimes we have good days. Sometimes we have our days that we just want to give up. But we can't, because they are dependent on us to be who they want us to be. Like I said, this road has been challenging for me. This road has been it's been a struggle at times, but I would not trade nothing in the world. Like I said, my son, he goes everywhere with us, vacations. He goes to the park, like whatever he wants to do movies wise. In the beginning, it was a little bit difficult, but he is really progressed through the years, and I cannot ask for nothing more. Like I said, we ended Autism Awareness on Tuesday, so I had to come and speak, because why wouldn't I? Peace. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe. Come on, get your girl to 4,000 subscribers. I'm on my way. Thank you.